Hello race fans, it's a great day for a race. I'm King Link and it's time to review Dirt 4. That's Dirt 4, the 6th game in the Dirt franchise. You know, because counting is hard, I guess. I've played every one of the Dirt series, so I think I'm ready to take a look at the latest entry. Well, the latest before Dirt Rally 2 that just came out while I was playing this. For the video, I'll be playing a course here in Sweden. I'll run a couple courses in both gamer and simulation mode, and then I'll show off a little bit of a physics demo I made. We'll talk about that when we get there, and if I have time I can show off Land Rush. Maybe Rallycross, but I don't think we'll have time for that. Check the bottom left corner to see what we're doing in each scene. That'll help you know what I was planning. I won't claim to be the best at Dirt 4, but it should show off the way the game is played. Graphically, Dirt 4 can look good. The cars are nicely detailed, and the course that you're following is pretty good. But a lot of the level that goes whizzing by your head doesn't look that amazing in slow-mo. The grass looks a little bit crummy, the people are fine, but really if you go over the course's boundaries, it doesn't look that good. There's a couple of cool effects though. Rain and fog appear in the game. The rain makes it more challenging and actually works pretty well. The fog makes it almost impossible to see. I don't think I've seen it that much, maybe once or twice in the game though, and for a limited amount it works well. There's also no story here. There's a few levels in the career mode of Dirt 4 that tells you that you're moving from a local to national level, or from the national to the international level. But their voices at the end of a race, I believe the first and the third set of races, and really it's not much after that. Now Dirt 4 is really going to come down to a couple things. If you're a fan of rally racing, good. That's where Dirt 4 really focuses. There's 3 events here: Rally Racing, Land Rush, and Rallycross. The fast version is that the Rally Racing is just a time attack mode on a number of dirt roads, thus the name. Land Rush is a lap race on a muddy track, and Rallycross is a race usually on a tarmac surface, with a special feature being a longer Joker lap, where the player has to take it once during the race. There is also a historic rally mode with older cars, but those 4 modes are the main career for this game. There is also a joyride section which has you have a couple of modes where you collect medals or smash barriers, but those are really side events, they're not even counted in the career mode. Dirt 4 though overall is light in the variety of gameplay here. At the same time, there's not actually enough variety in Land Rush or Rallycross. Land Rush has only 3 locations, Rallycross only has 5 tracks, and while there's variance there, it really doesn't feel like enough. On the other hand, well, the rally course has a different problem. There's a near infinite number of tracks there due to a new system that automatically generates courses, and you know, kudos to Codemasters for attempting that. It would be a great side option in the free play mode. The problem is, the career mode uses those courses exclusively, and it seems like they're just curated. There's also only 5 locations in the world you rally in, and honestly each location blends together with itself. But when you're in Michigan, for instance, which is slightly different, the courses are just stitched together. So you'll take an acute right that looks exactly the same as every acute right you pretty much have taken, and also kind of looks exactly this flip of the version of the acute left, which it is in reverse. You know, it's a shame because these auto-generated courses lose much of the character or interesting factors of each of the tracks. Dirt 4 is a racing game, and of course that means we're also going to have to be talking how its engine deals with the driving simulation. There's actually a good feature here, the ability to switch between what they call gamer and simulation mode. And it's an interesting twist on the formula, allowing both hardcore fans of the series and new players to play the game the same. That's the theory behind it. Though, I feel like the simulation mode itself is off, and you know, I talk more about this in the written review, so feel free to see my expanded opinions there. I have the video here showing off a few tests I did, but while some people like the simulation driving physics, the big problem for me is that when you go off the road, the car handles almost the same. In fact, there's never a transition in the game from a dirt surface to a road surface, and I think that's because the simulation doesn't handle material types that you're driving on correctly. In fact, if you have one tire off the road, the car drives perfectly fine as well. Your vehicle seems to drive very similarly all over the place no matter what happens, whether it's gamer or simulation. Even losing a wheel just creates a steering problem, and there's a decent amount of acceleration and speed that you can still have without that wheel. You know, it's just not a very good experience, especially if you're going for the simulation. Gamer is a lot better, it's a little bit easier to play, less momentum used, and I think it's a little bit more fun in some ways, but you can judge them yourself. Now, one other big issue with Dirt 4 is the difficulty is inconsistent. Sometimes the game is hard, sometimes the game is easy, and there's really not a reason for it. There was a set of 4 levels that I raced where I think I can show you this case. I won the first race pretty easily, ran a second race in the rain and won it by about 20 to 30 seconds, really easy. I then lost the next race by about 18 seconds, and no matter what I did, I could not get closer than 12 seconds, even at one of the markers. And finally, the 4th race was an easy win. Why was this so different each race? Of course, this also comes up with another problem. Winning doesn't really matter in Dirt 4. You of course get more money, and that's good because there's a lot to buy. There's cars, facilities that you need, repairs, upgrades, you can even hire people that help you out. But for progression's sake, if you get 3 15th place finishes, about middle of the pack, it's treated the same as 3 wins. In fact, getting the 30th place is still the same as winning, because all it needs is a completion from what I've seen. There's a lot of oddness in Dirt 4 as well. Driving up to a marshal at the end feels kind of pointless. Driving on rims seems perfectly fine, doesn't really damage the car more, at least not that I noticed. The car will sometimes just spawn damage. This is linked to the facilities and the engineers that you have to purchase, but it's not a great system just to have something go wrong, especially when it's talking to your co-driver. Rallycross itself sometimes doesn't want to award the Joker lap. You know, it claims a bad entrance, but it looks fine on the replay. It's that I don't think I hit the right bounding box. I'm not sure what's going on there. The upgrade system itself feels underwhelming. You know, it probably shouldn't be in the game. It's kind of a money sink more than an actual engaging part of the game. Now, I know I'm being a little bit negative, and it deserves it. But there's good news. I turned off all the HUD near the end of the game. I left just the speedometer and the timer, and honestly I think you could turn off the timer. I wouldn't turn off the speedometer, it's kind of essential. But the fact is, I started having a great time racing the game. At its core, the racing is solid. The simulation can be better. The gamer style is excellent if you really want to play that way, but it's not a true racing game then. And the fact is, the racing at the core is fun, but everything else around it is important, and not much of it works right. You know, the fact is, there's better racing games in the Dirt franchise alone, and that's a big problem for this game. Dirt 3, for all its problems, especially the Gymkhana, which I wasn't a huge fan of, was a great game. Dirt Rally has an issue, but, you know, it's still... I like both of those games more than this, and I think, honestly, the best game in the series so far has been Dirt 2. Now, I think that Dirt 4 is kind of, well, it's been rushed. The gamer driving system does feel acceptable, even if it is a little too easy. The simulation has issues. The courses kind of suck after a few hours. The difficulty is all over the place, and yet, I think it doesn't matter because they didn't want to make it perfect, and the experience is worse for all of this. Really, Dirt 4 just doesn't stand out in this series, and that's what it needed to. I give Dirt 4 a 3 out of 5. Now, if you're a fan of Dirt, or just want to drive something, you know, it's okay. It's not amazing, but I'll be honest, it's still 60 bucks. Now, if you can get it for 10 to 20, that's how I picked it up in a bundle. It might be even a 3.5 out of 5 or more, but really, this wasn't Codemasters at their finest, and I have to call that out because I am a fan of the series, but I don't want to see another game like this, and honestly, I expect better from Codemasters. I know they can do better. They've done it before. And that's Dirt 4. You know, I'm sad to say all of this, but like I said, I know they can do better than this. I want to see it next time. I know they just put out Dirt Rally 2. You know, I don't know when I'll get to that, but maybe one day. So what do you guys think about racing games? Are you more of a fan of the Mario Kart series, Project Cars style track racing, or do you like rally racing? Let me know in the comments, and feel free to throw out your favorite games in the genre. I'm always looking for more, Split Second, Burnout, all those games are great. Though, with all of that said, coming up next, it's time for a superhero game. Yeah, you know that big superhero game everyone's talking about? Well, not me. That's not how I work. Instead, we're going to be talking about Injustice 2. How does the Mortal Kombat formula do when tackling immortal gods and rich billionaires? Of course, if you've enjoyed this video or are looking forward to that review, consider subscribing. As always, I appreciate it from all of my fans, and I'm still trying to get up to 300 subscribers. And if you want to see more, well, ring that bell. You know, my arch nemesis, the YouTube algorithm, will be trying to hide my videos, and only you can defeat him by ringing the bell for notifications. That was an awful analogy. I love it. Until next time, guys, I'm King Link, and thank you for watching.